What is good manufacturing practices? So, GMP refers to good manufacturing practices, regulations promulgated by the US Food and Drug Administrations. तो इसको कौन रेगुलेट किया है ना? ये यूएस एफडीए बनाया है. ये जो रेगुलेशन है, ये जो नियम कानून है, it is which have the force of law require that manufacturer, processors and packagers of drugs, medical devices, food and blood take proactive steps to ensure their products are safe, pure and effective. ये जो लॉ है, ये जो रेगुलेशंस है, ये कौन कौन सा एरिया को डील करता है ना? जो फूड इंडस्ट्री है, जो मेडिकल डिवाइस बनाता है जो इंडस्ट्री की, और जो ड्रग्स बनाता है, ऑल दिस थिंग्स, दोज हु आर प्रोसेसर्स, मैन्युफैक्चरर्स जो प्रोसेस करते हैं, मैन्युफैक्चर बनाते हैं, उसमें ये एप्लीकेबल है. तो क्या एप्लीकेबल करता है ना? इट इज़ ए प्रोएक्टिव स्टेप्स टू एंश्योर, ये प्रोएक्टिव स्टेप है to ensure that their products are safe, pure and effective. So it is the regulations which is required to provide a safe, pure and effective products. And GMP regulations requires a quality approach. Quality approach, it means both quality assurance and quality control approach for manufacturing, enabling companies to minimize or eliminate instances of contamination, mix-up and errors. So क्वालिटी अप्रोच के हेल्प से ये क्या करता है ना? इट विल मिनिमाइज और एलिमिनेट जो भी चांसेस है कंटामिनेशन का, मिक्सअप का, कुछ भी डिफेक्ट्स का, उसको वो क्वालिटी अप्रोच के हेल्प से उसको मिनिमाइज करता है, रेगुलेट करता है. किसको ना? कंटामिनेशन को, मिक्सअप को, एरर को. दिस इन टर्न प्रोटेक्ट्स द कंज्यूमर फ्रॉम परचेजिंग. मेन पर्पज इज व्हाट? टू परचेज द कंज्यूमर्स हेल्थ. Okay, so that they purchasers, the consumers will have a effective and safe product and protects the consumer's health. And if the company is failed to satisfy the GMP, then there is a fine, there is seizure of their products, recall, jail is also present. And GMP regulations address issues including record keeping. क्या क्या कैसे कैसे रिकॉर्ड बनाते हैं, और पर्सनल जो भी पर्सन वो इंडस्ट्री में काम करेंगे उसका क्या क्वालिफिकेशन होता है. सैनिटेशन प्रोसेसेस, क्या क्या सैनिटेशन प्रोसेस रहना चाहिए प्रोसेस में. देन क्लीननेस भी कैसा रहना चाहिए, क्या क्या केमिकल एजेंट यूज करना चाहिए, ऑल दिस थिंग्स. देन इक्विपमेंट वेरिफिकेशन, देन प्रोसेस वैलिडेशंस एंड कंप्लेंट हैंडलिंग. जो भी इक्विपमेंट का जो वेरिफिकेशन होता है उसमें वो भी एड्रेस करते हैं. देन प्रोसेस वैलिडेशन, प्रोसेस जो हो रहा है वो साइंटिफिकली प्रूव करेंगे कि आवर प्रोसेस इज इफेक्टिव. एंड कंप्लेंट हैंडलिंग्स, if customers are giving some complaints, we need to address those complaints by doing some proper corrective actions. Okay, and most GMP requirements are very general and open ended, allowing each manufacturer to decide individually how to best implement the necessary controls. कहाँ कहाँ पे कंट्रोल एस्टेब्लिश करेंगे वो सब GMP में मेंशन किया है. एंड दिस प्रोवाइड्स मच फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी बट ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स दैट द मैन्युफैक्चरर्स इंटरप्रेट द रिक्वायरमेंट्स इन ए मैनर व्हिच मेक्स सेंस फॉर ईच इंडिविजुअल बिजनेस. ओके, so all these things are addressed in GMP regulations. Okay, Now we will understand the GMP in food industry. So for main personnel, because persons are working there, they should be disease free. Otherwise, they will transfer disease such as communicable disease like typhoid, hepatitis, any illness. Suppose any wound is there should be proper control so that our food will not have any kind of contaminations. Okay, then cleanliness of the persons, effective cleanliness should be there, and they should wear proper garments so that food will not be contaminated, and adequate personal cleanliness, personal hygiene is most important to avoid any kind of bad effect to the food. For example, washing hands thoroughly in an adequate hand washing facility, then removing all unsecured ज्वेलरी, जो जो ज्वेलरी है जो गिर सकता है खाने में, उसको भी वो रिमूव करना पड़ेगा बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द ऑपरेशन. देन मेंटेनिंग ग्लोव्स. ओके, इफ दे आर डायरेक्टली टचिंग टू द फूड, अगर वो डायरेक्टली फूड के साथ आ सकते हैं, उसको ग्लोव्स पहनना पड़ेगा. ओके, देन द ग्लोव्स शुड बी of an impermeable materials, it should not permit food material inside the body. Okay, this gloves should not allow it. Then wearing uh, appropriately in an effective manner, क्या क्या पहनना चाहिए, मास्क, कैप, then beard marks. Okay, then storing clothing or other personal belongings in an area other than where food is exposed. प्रॉपर स्टोरिंग करना है किसको, ना जो पर्सनल बिलोंगिंग है वो कहाँ पे स्टोर करना है, ना जो जो जिस एरिया में खाना स्टोर नहीं होता है और इक्विपमेंट स्टोर नहीं होता है, जो कि फूड मीन्स इक्विपमेंट यूटेंसिल, जो फूड यूटेंसिल्स है उसके वॉशिंग एरिया, उस एरिया में नहीं स्टोर करना चाहिए. देन कन्फर्मिंग द फॉलोइंग एरियाज अदर देन वेयर food may be exposed: eating food, chewing gum, drinking beverages, or using tobacco. All these things are not allowed as per GMP in a kitchen. You cannot eat something during the process. Okay, then the parcel should be checked properly, because if parcels are entering to the food lines and they are having some chemicals within them, then it is a problem. So there should be a precautions to protect against contamination of food by preparations, cosmetic, tobacco, chemicals, medicines. All these things should not be allowed, and it should not be applied to the skin. Okay, if someone has applied some antibiotics, okay, all these things, some cream above the surface or the hand, it may contaminate the food, so it should be prevented. Then education and training, this is most important, because if you are not educating, अगर आप एजुकेशन नहीं दे सकते हैं हाइजीन के बारे में, पर्सनल सेफ्टी के बारे में, ऑल दिस थिंग्स, फूड कंटामिनेशन के बारे में हम देकर ही उनको एजुकेट करेंगे. व्हाट इज इट्स इम्पोर्टेंस, क्या जो हाइजीन है, जो सैनिटेशन है, उसका इम्पोर्टेंस पर्सनल्स को, हैंडलिंग पर्सनल्स को समझाना पड़ेगा. ओके, then supervision, the responsibility for assuring compliance by all personnel with all requirements of this part shall be clearly assigned to competent supervisor. Okay, personnels, those supervisor, जो भी सुपरवाइजर होता है उसका उसका प्रॉपर नॉलेज होना चाहिए इसके बारे में, प्रॉपर हाइजीन, proper cleanliness, sanitation, sterilizations, how to handle food which are short lived, all these things, how to manage all these things, should have the person who is supervising that, he should have proper knowledge about all these things. Okay, then only he can continue proper GMP. देन प्लांट्स एंड ग्राउंड्स, जो भी फूड इंडस्ट्री है वो कौन सा अप्रोप्रिएट जगह में रहना चाहिए जिसके हेल्प से कोई भी ऐसा ब्रीडिंग प्लेस नहीं होना चाहिए पेस्ट का, हार्बोरेज ऑफ पेस्ट, वो ऐसा ग्राउंड में नहीं रहना चाहिए कि जो कि फुल्ली पेस्ट वो एरिया में रह सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट ग्राउंड शुड नॉट अट्रैक्ट मोर पेस्ट, so that the ground, the industry will be very safe. और क्या है, मेंटेनिंग रोड्स, यार्ड्स एंड पार्किंग लॉट्स सो दैट दे डू नॉट कंस्टिट्यूट ए सोर्स ऑफ कंटामिनेशन इन एरिया वेयर फूड इज एक्सपोर्ट. जो भी एरिया में फूड एक्सपोज कर रहा है उस एरिया में पार्किंग प्लेस नहीं रहना चाहिए. ओके, देन एडिक्वेटली ड्रेनिंग एडुकेट, जो भी फूड इंडस्ट्री है उसको उसका जो वेस्ट निकलता है उसके लिए प्रॉपर ड्रेनेज सिस्टम रहना चाहिए. देन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स फॉर वेस्ट ट्रीटमेंट एंड डिस्पोजल सो दैट दे डू नॉट कंस्टिट्यूट ए सोर्स ऑफ कंटामिनेशंस एरियाज वेयर फूड इज एक्सपोज्ड. जो भी एरिया में फूड प्रोडक्ट निकल रहा है, फूड एरिया में जो प्रोडक्ट निकल रहा है उस एरिया में हमारा फूड जो वेस्ट होता है, फूड वेस्ट ट्रीटमेंट होता है उस एरिया में नहीं रहना चाहिए. सपोज ईटीपी इज प्रेजेंट नेक्स्ट टू आवर packing area, then it will be a problem. There will be a chance of contamination. So our arrangement will be such that ETP, though the waste treatment plant should not be present attached to each other, so that food will be exposed to those areas. Okay, then operating systems for that we have discussed. Then plant construction and design, how the design should be there for a plant. The plant and facilities shall provide sufficient space for such placement of equipments and storage of materials as is necessary for the maintenance of sanitary operations. प्रॉपर स्पेस, प्रॉपर एर्गोनॉमिक्स उसको बोलते हैं, प्रॉपर एर्गोनॉमिक्स होना चाहिए. क्योंकि अगर प्रॉपर स्पेस प्रॉपरली नहीं रहेगा इक्विपमेंट सेटिंग के लिए, देन पर्सनल्स विल नॉट वर्क प्रॉपरली, दे विल बी इन प्रॉब्लम. सो देयर विल बी a chance of mishandling if space proper ergonomics is absent. Then permit the taking of proper precaution to reduce the potential for contamination of food contact surfaces or food packaging materials, all these things. And there is a need to protect food from outdoor bulk, from fermentation vessels. If there is some fermentation vessels are there, or some waste treatment plants is there for fermentation purpose, it should not be exposed to the product side. Okay, and provide adequate lighting in hand washing area, dressing and locker rooms and toilet rooms, and in all areas where food is examined, प्रोसेस्ड और स्टोर. जो भी एरिया रहता है, जैसे कि हैंड वॉशिंग स्टेशन है, जहाँ पे फूड को एग्जामाइन किया जाता है, उसमें सफिशिएंट लाइट होना चाहिए. ओके, और क्या ना, प्रोवाइड एडिक्वेट वेंटिलेशंस और कंट्रोल इक्विपमेंट्स टू मिनिमाइज ऑडर्स एंड वेपर्स इन एरियाज वेयर दे मे कंटामिनेट फूड. प्रॉपर वेंटिलेशन रहना चाहिए. ओके, प्रॉपर कंट्रोल रहना चाहिए, equipment control to minimize odors and vapors in areas where they may contaminate food. And what the design should provide where necessary adequate screening or other protection against पेस्ट. जैसे कि हम हमारे इंडस्ट्री में क्या देते हैं ना, स्ट्रिप कर्टन देते हैं, देन एयर कर्टन देते हैं. ऑल दिस थिंग्स शुड बी देयर टू प्रिवेंट व्हाट pest to enter to the plot. Next is sanitary operations. So the general maintenance, उसमें क्या ना, बिल्डिंग फिक्सचर्स और अदर फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज़ जो होता है उसको प्रॉपरली मेंटेन होना चाहिए और उसका सैनिटरी कंडीशन रहना चाहिए. देन सब्सटेंसेज यूज्ड इन क्लीनिंग एंड सैनिटाइजिंग स्टोरेज ऑफ टॉक्सिक मटेरियल्स शुड बी in a manner that it will not contaminate the food. You should have non-food area and food area in a separate place where there will be no chances of cross contaminations. And then pest control. So no pest is allowed inside the food business area. Okay, and there should be proper control. No pesticides or insecticides or any fungicides or rodenticides, all these things should not contaminate the food. And if you are having a pest control agency, then that agency should provide trained technician to do the pest control. And always it should be regulated by proper supervisions. And one more thing, whatever the chemicals coming inside the kitchen, it should be the insecticide which is allowed by government of India for household insecticides. So whatever household insecticides is allowed by government of India, that only should be used. Then sanitation of food contact surfaces. Whatever food contact surfaces are there, it should be sterilized or it should be sanitized and it should be cleaned properly. Okay, and the food contact surfaces used for holding manufacturing or holding low moisture food shall be in dry sanitary conditions at the time of use. So whatever the food contact surfaces for manufacturing or holding low moisture food shall be in dry sanitary conditions at the time of use. In wet processing, when cleaning is necessary to protect against introduction of microorganisms into food, all food contact surfaces shall be cleaned and sanitized before use. Clean and sanitize is must. Then non-food contact surfaces of equipment used in the operation of food plants should be cleaned frequently, non-food area, to protect against contamination of food. Then single service articles should be stored in appropriate containers. Then sanitizing agents shall be adequate and safe under conditions of use. उसके बाद क्या है ना, स्टोरेज एंड हैंडलिंग ऑफ क्लीन्ड पोर्टेबल इक्विपमेंट्स एंड यूटेंसिल्स. जो भी क्लीन्ड एंड पोर्टेबल यूटेंसिल्स इक्विपमेंट होता है उसको प्रॉपरली स्टोर करना है, उसको प्रॉपरली प्लेस्ड करना है, so that it will not be allowing paste or any other unwanted particles. Suppose you have cleaned and sanitized the vessels and you have stored that vessels uncovered, and if you have not given cover, then what will happen? At the time of use there will be some contamination within it, and finally it will make the food it will make the food unsafe. So whenever you are storing the vessels, it should be covered properly, it should be covered with lids. Okay, then what is there? Then sanitary facilities and controls. So each plant shall be equipped with adequate sanitary facilities and accommodation, including water supply, plumbings. All these things should be having proper control, should be in proper control, so that there will be no chance of contamination, and the water supply should be sufficient for the productions. Okay, then the drainage system from all the facilities should be proper. It should not cross contaminate, it should not have any backflow, it should not have any backflow. Then sewage disposal shall be made into an adequate sewage systems or disposed of through other adequate means. Then there should be toilet facilities, hand washing facilities. These are very necessary, and it is essential for maintaining personal hygiene. Then compliance with this requirement may be accomplished by providing proper hand washing facilities, effective hand cleaning and sanitizing preparations. Then sanitary towels should be there, and devices or fixtures should be designed in such a way that it will not be recontaminated. Okay, then readily understandable signs which will direct the employee to wash, how to wash, and appropriately sanitize the hand using hand towel or hand dryers. All these things, some proper proper what is there, signs should be there in the buildings, because all people are not aware about the works always. So signs should be there. Then refuse receptacles that are constructed and maintained in a manner that protects against contamination of food. Whatever the switchboards we are using, that should be designed in such a way it will not contaminate the food. Then rubbish and offal disposal. Suppose you are using suppose you are working in a meat industry, whatever rubbish or offal disposal is coming. Offal disposal means any unwanted parts of any animals like pancreas, any bones, all these things should be disposed properly. Okay. Next, equipment and utensils. Equipment and utensils should be designed in such a way that it will not hold any unwanted particles. Suppose you have vessels, okay, and if these vessels and is designed, suppose these two design, these vessels will be having some dirt inside it, but these vessels will not be having any dirt because there is no corner at this point. So these vessels is allowed, and these vessels, because this corner is present, and there will be proper some dirts will be there inside this point, and it will be difficult to clean also. So this is called coving should be there. So all the equipment should be manufactured in such a way that it will not hold any dirts, or it will be cleaned easily by the workers. That should be the requirement. And instruments and controls shall be accurate and adequately maintained and adequate in numbers for their designated uses. Then what, suppose you are using any compressed air, the air quality should be proper so that it will not contaminate the food. Next, processes and controls. Then raw materials and ingredients. Whatever the raw materials we are receiving, it should be received in proper segregations, and it should be received as per the standards. Suppose in India it should be received as per FSSAI standards. And suppose the raw material is susceptible to contamination with aflatoxin and undesirable microorganisms or extraneous materials, shall comply with the regulations such as FSSAI regulations. Or any other frozen raw material which is coming, it should be stored in frozen state, and if a freezed material is coming, it should be stored at what degree centigrade? 7 degree centigrade, and the temperature and humidity should be proper so that it will not damage the raw materials. Okay, and raw materials shall be held so as to protect against contamination, and shall be held is to maintain should be held at such temperature and humidity to prevent food adulterations. Okay, suppose you have stored the raw material, and suppose you have stored the raw material, and due to humidity or any other reasons water has gone into the raw material, then what happens? It becomes adulterated, or it is contaminated, because when you are going to use that material, you will directly use it, and it will be called adulterated. Okay, then frozen raw materials shall be, that we have discussed. Then liquid or dry raw materials should be stored properly, and liquid material should be separate, should be stored separately, dry material should be stored separately, all these things. And these are regulations. These rules are designed by US FDA. You cannot escape it. If you are escaping, then there is provisions of jail. All these things are there. Okay, then manufacturing operations, whatever we are processing, that the operations should be in a conditions that will not have any chances of undesirable microbes. And whatever the air present in the ambient, it should be properly tested. It should, the air quality should be good. And work in process shall be handled so as to protect any unwanted contaminations, and effective measures shall be taken to protect against the inclusions of metals. This is important. Inclusions of metals, sorry, this one, inclusion of metals or other any extraneous material is not allowed. The structure, suppose you are using any window, and this window is having glass, this glass should be properly protected with sun films. If this glass is broken, then this glass metal should not enter to the food. Okay, and suppose you are using ice, the ice shall be made from water that is safe and adequate to maintain the sanitary quality. And manufacturing areas or equipment used for manufacturing human food should not be used to manufacture non-human use food. Understood? This one is important. If you are using an area for manufacturing food which is not for animals, it is used for human, that area, वो area animals खाने बनाने के लिए नहीं बनाना, that वो नहीं रहना चाहिए. Okay, that is important. Next is complaint handling. Suppose you are not handling the complaints, then there is no chances of improvements in your business. So there is a requirement of complaint handling in GMP, and it should be recorded. Whatever the complaints you are receiving from the consumers or any other sources like media, all these things, you should maintain it, you should record it, and whatever the corrective actions you are taking, that should be communicated to the consumers within the limited period, within 24 hours or 3 days or some, within time it should be communicated to the consumers that this kind of corrective actions we have taken in our manufacturing area or any other point to minimize the problems or hazards or anything. So this is important. So with this we have understood many things, many points related to GMP. Thank you a lot.